Our next senior graduation speaker is Cass Cooper. Cass joined PALCS in 2016 due to chronic health issues. Cass is going to Westchester University to study and enroll in their post-secondary education program to become a social studies teacher. Yes! While at PALCS, Cass participated in GSA, the last 3 years as a student leader, serving as vice president and president of the club. Cass is the recipient of the 2023 PALCS High School Shining Star Scholarship and was also awarded the Horatio Alger State Scholarship, which is awarded to students who have faced and overcome great obstacles in their young lives. Please join me in welcoming Cass Cooper.
On June 18th of last year, I was in this very room cheering on my best friend that I met through PALCS who was graduating. I vividly remember hearing the two student speakers and thinking, I want to do that. And so I did. I spent that summer writing a variety of different drafts and thought the last one would be the one I would submit. So when I got the email this year, I went back to that exact speech in my notes app that had not been touched since August 2022. The Google Doc was open, the camera was on to record, but after reading it, I ended up deleting the entire thing. The speech was not me anymore, and it did not reflect who I am today in only short 7 months. While sitting in my hospital room back in April, I ended up writing exactly this. Through my last 2 years at PALCS, I've learned plenty of lessons, and I'm not referring to the virtual ones we had to attend each week. Each one of us in this room, classmates, school admin, parents, or caregivers, has had to persevere in some way. My time of perseverance was when I moved to PALCS. There were significant life-altering events occurring, including the transition to a virtual classroom. Because of the struggles going on outside of academics, I ended up having to retake 7th grade, spent almost every summer in summer school barely getting by. I was 0.5% of a grade from even promoting into high school. The comments from teachers stuck with me through my middle school report card. They were in danger of failing the course, does not respond to teacher communication, and one I held on to was minimal effort shown. And by my second semester in high school, I was already in credit recovery courses. So I was under the impression that life would always be this hard, and I didn't want my struggles to define who I was. But I was convinced that my worth was reflected onto every piece of paper and every assignment I submitted. To me, if I could not achieve a 100%, I simply would not try. I wanted things to be different, but even the thought of change itself was scarier than not trying. I'd give the majority of credit to one PALCS teacher that changed my entire view, and not just academically, but with a lesson I wish every student got to hear in their early high school years. I learned from this teacher about choice. In the first 4 years at PALCS, I didn't talk to a single teacher. I ignored email after email, even this teacher's emails I ignored, and a random day an assignment was not loading, and most of the time I would close my laptop for the rest of the week to just ignore it all. But instead I asked for help. I'll admit it's because the topic did interest me, but it also wasn't that bad. If anything, it opened up the point in my life for a time of change. I ended up rolling my eyes internally every time I got pushed a little harder into resubmitting an assignment. But I was taught one lesson, which was to make the choice to try. Such a vague word, trying. But simply I had to make the choice for me, and for me, my choice of trying was to build habits for success. If I tried and was not fulfilled, I had the choice to try again and be different the next time. So after many hours in Zoom, this teacher taught me everything. I relearned math and reading skills, how to note take, time management, initiation, communicating effectively, and most importantly, I learned capability. With this guidance, I pulled out of credit recovery. In only 2 years, the report card comments turned into effectively communicates with teacher, enthusiastic learner, and now my favorite, coursework demonstrates outstanding effort. I quickly moved up to honor courses and now was taking AP courses during my junior and senior year. I was never an A student by any means, not that that really mattered, but I learned how to believe in myself and submit consistent work. And I was always willing to take feedback to do better. I learned I didn't need 100% to be worth anything. And I'll admit, to get to this point was not smooth. I can't count the times I said I was going to drop out, and I still had moments of keeping my laptop closed and pretending it did not exist, let alone this senior year. I spent more months in the hospital relearning how to eat than at home, balancing the reality of college, among other hard events. So I'm not sharing this to say every single one of you has to go through something big and has to have a big breakthrough out of it. I'm saying it because I will never regret persevering. I am glad I fell into a pit and felt so many uncomfortable feelings, and I am forever thankful for reaching out. It wasn't an easy thing to do, and I'll always recognize the strength it takes to even take a small step towards doing it. Change is super uncomfortable, and if I never faced those challenges in middle school, let alone the bad cards I was dealt with without support, I wouldn't be up here today, and sometimes I don't even think I'd be graduating. But I changed, and I learned to make choices and build successful habits, and I get to say that I start school July 3rd with plans to teach high school social studies. So some big advice that I could give to every single one of you that I wish I would have had sooner than later. I want to remind you to make the choice each day. No matter what you decide, whether you're getting ready for college, going to work, or taking a well-deserved break, just keep pushing through. Time does not stop, and unfortunately, hard things will always continue to happen. But it's up to you on whether these things end up defining you or motivate you. Another note is to reach out for help, and I have 4 exclamation points next to this. I can't stress it enough. As terrifying as it feels, there are people always out there ready to help you no matter what. And lastly, be your authentic self, and do not write your story based on what Google says or how other people expect you to be. If you're in a pit of misery right now or not sure what choice to make, that's okay. I'm sure some of us are excited and anxious or all of the above, but do not avoid change because of fear. It's okay to be scared, but be scared and do it anyways. And I'll say it again, be scared and do it anyways. So ending this on a less serious note, my sign-off is 1 to Mr. Logue. Let me know when you get that Rottweiler, please, and every other teacher who was in my 11th grade project, get that dog breed that I related you to. There's a reason why you were related to what you were related to. Thank you to Ms. Walker and Ms. Matcha for your continuous support and guidance, going above and beyond to even get me here. And thank you to Mr. Pathis, who's the teacher that never failed to believe in me during times that I almost called it quits. And the biggest thank you to Julian and Lucas, my brother and his wife, for stepping up as my parental role when I needed a parent the most. You both laid the foundation to my success. And the biggest congrats to every single one of you. We did it.